What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Today is the day we finally get to install the final product from TKO Performance in the package that they are referring to as their Attack Blue air filter. So the car's back there, the filter's in the garage. Let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Welcome back to the frozen tundra that is Pennsylvania. It is about 30 degrees here today, but we are going to be doing something today that I have been waiting for a while, and that is the Attack Blue air filter. Now, if you guys are familiar with the channel, you know I've already done 2 videos about this on the dyno, showing the difference between the stock air filter and the Attack Blue prototype air filter. Well, this is the final product. This is literally what you would get if you purchase it. And the best part of that is you can purchase it. As of today, as of this video, my website is live. You can go on there and purchase your own Attack Blue air filter. Like I said, just live. It will be in the description down below. If you're interested in taking your C8 Corvette to the next level without radically changing things, check out this air filter. Now, if you guys haven't seen the previous videos, I will link those in the description as well as up here to the top right, kind of going over what this air filter will do for your car. But short Cliff's notes: it adds more power, it adds better filtration, and it even makes the exhaust a hair louder. So basically, all good things. There's really no drawback to this thing, and the best part is it's reusable. So when it gets dirty, you clean it, you put it back in there, you're good to go. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing installed on the car today, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so we are in the garage. We already have the actual lid open. We're gonna go ahead and start removing these pieces to get access to the air filter. Now, what we have to do first is actually just remove the cargo net. Not all of the C8 Corvettes come with the cargo net, so if yours doesn't have this, you can obviously skip this step, but they're not very difficult to remove either way. You can see here the cargo net hooks. You just kind of pull it right off, and yeah, I know, I'm making a how-to on how to remove a cargo net. I don't know. But anyway, once that's off, we're gonna go ahead and remove the 4 T15 Torx head screws. So there's 4 on each side, 8 altogether. Then we're also going to remove some of the cargo net hooks. This one down here is going to have to come out, as well as this one over here. The ones on the sides do not have to come out because, like I said, that carpet splits right there. We're not going to mess with that. So the cargo net hooks unscrew. You just grab them and unscrew them until they come completely off. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me turn in some cargo net hooks for the next 2 minutes. And as you can see there, I got both cargo net hook screw things off. So now the next step, like I said, is to remove these. I got my impact gun here to go ahead and help me. Makes quick order of these. They're not in there with any kind of crazy torque or anything. But anyway, I'll catch back up with you once these are removed. And with the screws all loose, you can literally just grab it, pull it right out, and that's what we're left with. Now, this carpet actually does not have to come all the way out for this. After we remove those and the 2 cargo net hooks, we can actually just grab the carpet here and kind of peel it back from underneath the weather trim. And that's pretty much it. This is what we need access to. So again, there's a bunch of T15 Torx head bolts holding this on. Once we take off all of those, behind here is the air intake assembly, so we can get that beautiful new Attack Blue air filter installed and start getting some more ponies out of this thing. Like I was saying, this carpet does not have to come all the way out, but if you wanted to take it out, it makes it a little bit easier on yourself, but you do have to remove 4 additional Christmas tree style connectors to get this carpet completely out. If you look underneath right there, these are where the Christmas tree style connectors were. This part is separate, so the carpet will actually come out around that. There's going to be 2 Christmas tree style connectors on both sides, so 4 altogether. If you take those out as well, the entire piece of carpet will come out. For the sake of this video, I'm going to do that just so it's a little bit easier for me doing it by myself. If you have somebody to hold this carpet back while you're unscrewing all those T15 bolts to gain access to the air filter, then you probably don't have to take this all the way out. So with everything off, we are able to just go ahead and pull the carpet out now. So we'll just grab here, and out she comes. So with the carpet out, you can easily see where we got to get into for that air filter. So the darker piece of plastic here, that whole thing comes off, revealing the entire air intake after we remove the many T15 screws all the way around this thing. With all the screws out, just grab this thing and it will come right out of place. So as you can see there, that's the intake. So this particular box here has 6 different bolts in it, 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, and then this plastic backing will actually pull off, revealing the air filter. So lastly, like I said, we're going to go ahead and remove these 6 bolts, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, to kind of pull away the plastic cap that houses the air filter inside the air intake. They are 8mm bolt heads, so let's get it done. And with the mount, cover just comes right off. With the air filter exposed, all you got to do is just grab it and work it back and forth, and it comes right off. So actually, this one looks kind of dirty. The car only has 9,000 miles on it, and this, I can already see some dirt in the pleats here, so probably a good thing we're doing this. Oh yeah, check out the leaves in there too. Suck all kinds of stuff up in this thing. So we'll clean that out. You guys know the air literally pipes in right here from the side intakes on the car itself. If it can fit in that side intake, it's coming in here. But let's get the new filter. Take a look at it compared to the stock one. Here's the air filters side by side. And yeah, you can definitely see a pretty clear difference here. This is paper media, while this is definitely more of a synthetic, or in this case, nanofiber material. So not just that, the Attack Blue is slightly bigger, slightly taller, and the construction is much, much better. This is actually very likely AC Delco or something along those lines. But you can actually see right there, it is stamped with a GM logo. So this is the factory GM unit. The stock air filters in Corvettes always seem to leave something to be desired. Even the air filter in my ZR1 had just a very paper-esque and cheap feeling about it. I replaced that originally with the Attack Blue air filter, and then ultimately moved on to the GM Performance intake, which had a really nice air filter in it as well. So GM knows, I guess, that these things are kind of cheap and they're not necessarily the best flowing filters for the higher performance models. It's probably okay for the Stingray, but these are the way to go, in my opinion, just because they're reusable, they filter a little bit better, and they're going to add, in my testing, around 9 to 10 horsepower and 10 to 12 torque. What Ed over at TKO Performance told me about this was, once they dye the media and get everything finalized, this will actually probably put out a hair more power than the prototype units that I was testing. So this should be good for between 10 to 12 horsepower, 12 to 14 torque, if I had to guess. This is the result of a lot of testing on TKO Performance's end and on my end. I mean, I don't want to give myself too much credit here because I really didn't do a whole lot. They did all of the work on the filters, but I tested them. So I kind of feel like this is a little bit my baby too. But anyway, guys, just looking at these things, you can clearly see there is a much higher quality here than there is with the paper filters here. Like I said earlier in the video, this one is reusable, so you can clean it when it gets dirty and throw it back in there. It filters a little bit better, and basically TKO Performance advertises it filters down to a sub-micron level. What that means is your oil is going to stay cleaner, your engine is going to stay cleaner, the car is going to stay cleaner and happier longer. That's all on top of the fact that it makes more power, and this baby is made in the US of A. So like I said, guys, this is going to be available on my website. If you want to check out the description down below, you will see these for yourself. But let's go ahead and get this thing in the car, get everything buttoned back up, and really see what kind of difference this thing makes. So the next step is just to actually install the Attack Blue air filter. The only thing you really have to do here is make sure that little tab right there is facing up. So it will go in just like this and push right into place. Now these edges on the filter are actually a silicone style, so if you're in a cold environment, you may want to warm them up. Like I said here, it's about 32 degrees outside. It's probably even colder than that now because it's dark. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of a heat gun or possibly let it sit in my house for about an hour to warm up a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and push this into place. 1 hour later. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that bump out is perfectly in the notch. We'll start at the top, and then you just kind of want to massage this thing on. So you don't want to force it because you'll bend some of the pleats, but if we just kind of move it around a little bit, it will pop into place. There it is. The fit is tight enough that it's on there, it's in place, it's not coming off even without that cover going back on. But like I said, guys, just look at that. I mean, I don't know. It's obvious that that is going to flow and filter so much better than the stock unit. And there's just something, about this view right here. I freaking love it. So anytime I'm working on the car in the back around the engine bay or anything like that, I marvel at this. It just looks absolutely fantastic. But enough messing around. Let's get the cover back on here and button all this stuff back up, and then we are good to go. Now, of course, guys, I am not going to make you watch the process of putting all this back together, because it is the opposite of disassembly. I've done this so many times with those prototypes, I could probably do this in my sleep at this point. I will put all this back together and I'm going to take it for a ride and kind of give you my thoughts and impressions, because even though I have had the prototypes in here and this one is likely to not respond much different to the car itself, I still want to tell you guys how I feel about what this thing does for drivability. Tomorrow, I'm going to see you back in this same area, and we're gonna take this thing for a ride. Like I've said before, guys, it's gonna be a day for me. It's gonna feel like a couple seconds for you. So I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, we are back. So the air filter is installed. The car has been sitting overnight. It's ready to go. So we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna drive it around and kind of give you my thoughts and impressions on this filter, because I have lived with the prototypes for a couple months now. And as you guys saw, whenever we were installing the new filter, I didn't take out a prototype. And that was because I actually got word from Ed that he wanted those prototypes back. So I pulled those prototypes out about a week prior to filming this video. So I was driving around a little bit with the stock filter in there, and I could definitely tell a difference in the way the car behaves. So let's go ahead, jump in, drive around, and I'll give you my thoughts and impressions on the new one and whether or not it is any different from the prototypes. So let's go. But of course, before we do, let's grab a cold start of the beautiful AWE exhaust system. So we are in the car driving around, and I can immediately notice what I would call the, I guess, unprovables. So in the video, I won't be able to prove to you that the car has better throttle response, but I can feel the difference. Yeah, I can definitely feel the difference between this filter and the stock filter that I had back in there for about a week. My personal recommendation would be, the filter is definitely something you can feel. The changes that you're going to get from this filter are mostly going to be more so on the end of reusable, made in the US, and better filtration. You do get that 10 to 12 horsepower bump out of it, which, like I said, I personally tested, so I can personally guarantee you're going to get between 10 and 12 horsepower from this air filter. And from an air filter by itself, that's pretty impressive. If it's my recommendation you're looking for, I would definitely say grab the air filter. The stock one, a replacement stock air filter, is going to cost you somewhere around $80 to $100 anyway, so this one's really not that much more money, and considering the fact that you would never have to buy another one, it's kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. But that's really going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you liked what you saw, please give me that big thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel to see more content like this coming. You're definitely not going to want to miss what I have coming in the future. And like I said, guys, if you are interested in the air filter, please go ahead and check out the store down in the description below. You'll be able to buy one of your own. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it, like I said, so I will catch you in the next upload.